And join John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, and Tom Powers.
Hello again, everyone, from Brother Thomas More Stadium on the campus of St. Xavier High School. This is John Spears along with Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, and Todd Powers, bringing you another week of St. X Tiger football. It is the second season. Playoffs begin tonight in all classes here in Kentucky, which usually, Tony Burke, means really bad matchups because you got a whole lot of 1 seeds playing a whole lot of 4 seeds.
Well, the KHSAA years ago thought, well, great idea. Everybody basically was going to make the playoffs every year. And you're right, John. You got 1 seed against 4 teams sometimes that haven't won a game all year, which Trinity and Seneca are doing tonight. And you feel terrible for the team that's the worst of the two, and the good team doesn't get a lot of help. So, yes, tonight, all over the state of Kentucky, playoffs start, and the goal is to get to Lexington, Kentucky, and Kroger Field in 5 weeks.
And right here on Poplar Level Road, the St. X Tigers will have one of what they hope will be 4 consecutive home playoff games. That's the way the schedule lays out. And they're actually going to play a 5 seed. It's the Manual Crimsons, same district, but Manual, being a 5th team in the district, forced to go play as a 4 seed, and they just happen to be playing the Northern Kentucky district that is playing the St. X district. So the Manual Crimsons, they don't have to travel far. They just have to travel over here to Poplar Level Road. A game that's a rematch of a game from 4 weeks ago where St. X won 56-34 in a game where the Crimsons sort of knocked the Tigers back a little in the first half, don't
they? They did, John, and with a late touchdown in the first half, it was 28-20 at halftime, and Tiger defense was reeling. They did not play very well against the Manual team, who was only averaging about 15 points a game, but in the second half, the Tigers took over, and this 3-7 record for this Manual team is unbelievable to me. And we talked about it the first game before we found out they would have to play in this district played the district winner here as a 4 seed, that we thought they could go up and maybe beat a 1 seed.
Yeah.
And boy, just a terrible break for Manual to have to play St. X here tonight, but not a bad football team. Probably the best 3-7 team you're going to find anywhere.
Yeah, and I think if they play Butler or they play PRP a little bit later in the season, they may have knocked them off and not ended up as the 5 seed in this district.
Yeah, I agree 100%. They've got good athletes. They don't have much depth. They don't have a lot of numbers, but you're going to see some good players, a Division I running back, and
Aiden Robinson.
Yeah, that's what you beat me to it. I was looking for it, and I forgot I knew it was Aiden, but then they've got great athletes on the outside with Floyd and Sutton, and always a chance for a big play out of this Manual team, and we saw it some in the first time when the Tigers played the Crimsons.
And one of the things Manual ran that we haven't seen from anybody else, a 3-man eye behind the quarterback. They had a fullback, they had a first halfback, and then they had a second halfback. The freshman was the middle back, and you never knew who was going to get the ball. And it was very effective against St. X for about 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, and I watched the film back on the last game, and they just line up, and they were very predictable in the game. They would line up with 3 men back there, and they'd run the ball. Tigers had trouble stopping them. They would just get the ball out, 1 step back, and get it out to a receiver, which big wide receivers, and Floyd and Sutton. So there's a lot of talent there, but it just wore down, and the Tigers, I think, have made a lot of adjustments defensively from that week, and this St. X defense has been playing very well.
Talk about those defensive adjustments for a second. They had 2 consecutive shutouts, one over Mayo, one over Butler, and then they held Cincinnati St. X, a very good, explosive offensive team, to 16 last week in a loss. So the St. X defense under Bart Bruner has made some real tremendous strides, starting really at halftime of that first Manual game.
I agree 100%. They started trying to take away that quick pass, or at least trying to number up to you instead of giving you the advantage and then trying to make a play. We saw the next week they were running more stunts. They were moving the safety up sometimes, rotating the defensive backfield. So a lot of good things happening on the Tiger defense. And just by looking at the scores, like you said, of the last games, Tigers haven't given up many points here, 0-0 and 16. That's pretty good.
And the big news tonight, if you're a St. X fan, they've kept it under wraps, but Jack Albers, senior quarterback, hurt his pinky finger on his throwing hand in the last drive last week against Cincinnati St. X. He didn't tell anybody. He didn't come out of the game, but he came back over after that last drive where the Tigers effectively gave the ball back to Cincinnati St. X for the last time, and the medical staff was like, uh-oh. So they splinted it up. He's got his ring finger and his last pinky finger taped together. He will not start tonight. Will Wolford told me he threw a little bit yesterday, threw it pretty well. They've got a splint in place where he can have feel of the football. And if they need him, he can go tonight. But they're going to go with the junior Keegan Sullivan.
They are, John. And I want to tell you what Jack Albers did in this first game. First of all, he had 6 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. He was 14 for 17 for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they're losing a guy that accounted for 345 yards of offense the first time against Manual. But Keegan Sullivan comes in here, and we've talked about Keegan before, a guy that I firmly believe if he was not playing here at St. X would start for 80% of the teams in Jefferson County. He's a junior. He's only thrown 6 passes this year and completed 3 of them, I'm sorry. And he's a guy, the only thing I worry about tonight with Keegan is it's just new, and there's pressure because you can't come out and have a bad game, and you expect to win tonight, and he's going to have to do it. But I expect him to have a really good game. I think he's just been grooming. They've been grooming him to this point, and next year he will be one of the best quarterbacks in the state.
Coach Will Wolford did tell me yesterday after our interview that he's had a tough week of practice. He's put a little too much pressure on himself, so hopefully he got that out of his system, and he'll be ready to go here tonight. First time these two teams matched up, Tony, St. X Tigers had 9 possessions. They scored 8 touchdowns and ended the half with the ball in the first half. So they basically had a perfect offensive game.
And they shot themselves in the foot on 2 personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct plays right at the end of the first half where they had an opportunity. They kept moving backwards. They could have scored then.
So the Tigers have gone back to the locker room. Manuel still out on the field prepping for Coach Scott Carmody.
And, John, one other thing. Last time these two teams played, Manual had 375 yards of total offense. Tigers had 567. And I think if the Tigers wouldn't have substituted 2 or 3 times, they could have named the amount of yards and points they wanted.
We'll take a break. We're about 19 minutes away from kickoff. We'll look at some of the other games in town here tonight, and especially in the 6A football playoffs, and let you know what's going on. A couple of state championships coming tomorrow for the other fall sports here at St. X. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. Getting ready for the playoffs to begin here at St. X High School. Manual Crimson's down there warming up. And again, we talk about, Tony, the mismatches here in the first round. And let's start on the St. X bracket, of course. St. X a 1 seed, Males a 2, PRP the 3, and Butler's the 4 seed. Tigers and Manual here. They will play, the winner of this game will play the winner of Cooper and PRP. That game is at Cooper tonight. So PRP has struggled late this season. They've had trouble scoring the football.
Very interesting. When they lost to Central last week, their quarterback, B.J. Robinson, did not play. And I don't know if he's out or if he just was out for that game. It makes a huge difference in that PRP team. And to travel, I'm still going to take PRP in that one, John. Cooper and Connor have both struggled in Northern Kentucky. Ryle is the only team up there that's really, I think, has any type of chance of beating some teams.
Well, speaking of Connor, they are over on the old Durrett campus, as you like to call it, and I take on the Mail Bulldogs. Easy one for Mail tonight, you think?
I believe so.
Mail's beat up now. They've had a lot. They've had an inordinate amount of injuries this year.
They've had a ton. They've lost key players all year long. They did get Rashawn McCauley back, which helped them out. But you could just feel a different vibe when the Bulldogs were over here, that there was just something missing. And, you try to find that in the playoffs because everybody's has no wins and no losses right now.
And probably the best-looking game is Butler and Ryle. It's a good Butler team. They did struggle here against St. X, but they've had some good wins this year, but they have to travel up to Ryle.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for Butler. Last year, all 4 teams in this district were winners, and this year, that's the one game that's the question mark. Ryle has the great running back up there that's run for over 2,000 yards, and it's going to be a big task for Butler, but I'd say Butler's going to keep it close.
And the other quadrant on this side of the bracket, the Lexington schools are in that bracket, but in the school that everybody's looking at is Scott County. They will open at home against George Rogers Clark tonight. But Scott County has a pretty – Frederick Douglass is good, but I think a pretty good road to get to that state quarterfinal.
Yeah, Tate's Creek and
or state semifinal, I should say.
Tate's Creek and Frederick Douglass are on the other side, and I just watching scores down in Lexington. The teams in Lexington are not very strong. And Scott County, I think, should walk out of that part of the bracket.
Now, on the other half of the 6A playoffs, it's basically the Trinity Invitational.
It is, and that's exactly.
I hate to say that, but
it's
that's
the
what
Trinity running clock Invitational, if you ask me. And that's, I think, the only time, if things work the way they're the way they should work out, Trinity will play Simon Kenton. And I was watching some stuff online, and some people predicted, and they were predicting 49-0. And Simon Kenton can score, I think, but they'll never stop Trinity. And Trinity will be sitting and waiting in Lexington for whoever gets out of the other side, which we're getting ready to go over to.
Trinity has Seneca tonight over on Shelbyville Road. Again, that's a 5 seed, actually playing out of district and then back into district. Trinity and Simon Kenton, they would match up actually in the 3rd round, and the winner of that would, in all likelihood, it looks like Central Hardin is the best team in that upper half. But again, not a whole lot of competition.
Well, probably McCracken County. McCracken County's probably. Yep, they are up there. They're probably the strength of that bracket, and Central Hardin's been up and down all year, and that's just such a weak side of the bracket. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth.
2A tonight, DeSales is at home. As we talk about our Catholic counterparts, they are at home against Gallatin County. And we certainly expect the undefeated DeSales Colts, for the first time in school history, undefeated, to take care of Gallatin County.
Good DeSales team, and they'll keep marching tonight. And I really expect them to march all the way to Lexington themselves, John.
And the other Catholic school is Holy Cross, and they are at Ludlow tonight. Now, the Cross is 5-5. Ludlow is 8-2. Holy Cross beat Ludlow in the first round last year. They beat them 38-12 in the first round last year, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Holy Cross, who comes out of that KCD district in 1A, to go up and beat Ludlow again.
Can you help me where Ludlow is?
It could be in Virginia, as far as I know. I have no idea.
I had a feeling that trivia question was not going to get answered.
One. Some of the other 6A games, Ballard is at home against Boone County. It's a decent Ballard team, but again, you're in that Trinity bracket. Eastern is on the road as a 3 seed at Campbell County tonight. So we will try to keep you updated. And J-Town also is at Simon Kenton.
And what about them Atherton Rebels? I want to throw that in there. Atherton has not been in the playoffs. I don't know how many years it's been, but the Rebels will go to Madison Central, and I don't know how good that is, having to go to Madison Central. But the Rebels have done a good job, and they've really trying to turn that program over.
Moore Mustangs are a good football team this year. They're at home tonight, a home playoff game for Moore against Rockcastle County.
Usually Rockcastle County's had good teams in the past, but that Moore team, I know a lot of speed out there, and I'll take the Mustangs tonight.
St. X is got a couple of state championships on the line tomorrow in cross country. The Class 3A title begins at 2:15 at the Kentucky Horse Park up near Lexington. And so get out there, Tiger fans. It's going to be a chilly day, but really for this time of year, I think a nice day. The temperature is going to be high 60s, low 70s by the time they run.
As long as the rain stays away, which I think it will. It would be a nice day tomorrow, but around here you never know what the weather's going to be like. But yeah, it should be a good day to be running.
Tiger cross country team is an overwhelming favorite. In fact, in the regional, the runners didn't finish first, but their runners finished second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And overwhelming favorites again tomorrow to bring home a state championship. And the Tigers can win their second state title of the day later in at Lexington Lafayette High School, as Coach Andy Schulten's soccer team will take on Davies County. Davies County, defending state champs. They were ranked number 1 early in the year, and St. X beat them 6-1. That game is at 5 o'clock at Lexington Lafayette. So go watch some cross country, go up the road a little bit, and you get some St. X soccer, and you get to see, hopefully, 2 state championships.
A lot of things going on over athletically over here at St. X High School, and hopefully the St. X Tiger football team will follow the lead of the cross country and the soccer team.
We'll take a break, come back with the head coach of the Tigers, Will Wolford, see what he has in store for tonight's game. We are about 9.5 minutes away from kickoff. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Hello again, everyone, from Brother Thomas More Stadium. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd, and we are underway. They start a little early on us tonight. St. X returns the kickoff to the 16-yard line, and that's where they'll start. Keegan Sullivan, the junior, gets the call at quarterback. He'll give it to Anthony Moretti on the first play up the middle. Got about 3 to the 19 before he's hauled down there. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Manuel won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Tigers, the kick was short, but it bounced away from Dominic Allgaier. Had to go over and get it and got it back to about the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 7. 2 men to the left. Sullivan hands it to Moretti. Leaps the pile. He's got the 1st down and more across the 30. Still running to the 40. Down the right sideline to midfield. Crimson's had an angle on him, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Marcus Floyd knocks him out at about the 28, but Moretti leaped a pile right at the line of scrimmage, Tony, and took off.
We had 14 carries for 70 in the first game. Tigers rushed for 286 in the first game, and a big play by Anthony Moretti.
53 yards on the run, and why not? You give it right back to him. I tell you why not. He's tired. But he knocked off of his feet right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. Jacob Bratcher in on the tackle for the Crimsons. It'll be 2nd down 10, ball at the Manual 28.
And the Tigers just have lined up to start this game and running right at the Crimsons, which they did very well last time. Going quickly here.
If you just joined us, Keegan Sullivan starting in place of Jack Albers. Dislocated his pinky in the last drive last week. Tigers kind of kept that under wraps. Didn't let anybody know, and he could play tonight if needed. Did throw some yesterday. Man in motion, they give it to Moretti off tackle. Cuts inside, he gets to about the 26, give him a couple. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. So nothing but running plays so far, and we know Keegan Sullivan can throw the football.
We do. He's going to get man coverage all night. Tigers up front, the same 5 they usually have. 6, Smock, Kennedy, Ferris, and Curley.
Curley a co-captain tonight. Zoller's the H-back, and Moretti's still in the backfield. Keegan wants to throw on 3rd and 8. Over the middle, has a man wide open at the 12, and he's in for the touchdown. That is Zoller. No, that is
Will Crum.
Mueller. Ben Mueller.
82, 83,
right
whatever
across
they
the middle. They got the black unis on with the green numerals, so hard to see. But Ben Mueller wide open, and Keegan Sullivan, which we knew he could do, hits him in stride.
Well, I just said before that they're going to get man coverage on the outside because Manuel is stacking the box. It's just a slant to the inside receiver. And Keegan Sullivan, who's only thrown 6 passes in varsity, puts one on the money. He's 1 for 1 tonight as the Tigers go up. And Alamatija on to attempt the extra point.
Jude Carlin will hold it. Morrow will snap it. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and through. 10:09 to go, first quarter. 7-0 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Returns the Kyle Nally kickoff out to about the 26. Impressive drive by the Tigers, but what a good throw from Keegan Sullivan, Jim. You know what? Maybe I'll turn your mic on. What do you say?
John?
There you go.
There we go. All right. Yeah, John, that's exactly what we were kind of begging for in that 4th quarter last week. You know, the little short, skinny post. And Keegan Sullivan obviously showing the rifle. It's a different aspect to the St. X offense.
Zach Rechtenwald in the pistol on 1st down from the 26. He's got 3 receivers in the pattern. Instead, he'll hand it to Aiden Robinson, who is hit in the backfield and pushed back by about 4 Tigers up off the bottom of the pile. That's Andrew Ewells. Hello to the Ewells family listening out of town tonight. Got a text from Kevin today. Wanted to know if we were streaming. We are. It's on livesportscaster.com. You can go to stx.com to access it. If you like to watch while you listen to Tony and me. And Jim.
And John, the Tigers, Manuel comes out in a different set than they have before. One running back and running out of it, and Ewells beats his guy and loses a yard on the play.
Second down 11, now 2 in the backfield. Alex Conlon is in front of Robinson, who gets the call, has a hole up the middle, has a first down, tripped up as it was Jude Carlin from his safety spot that came up and knocked him down, but not until he got out to the 37-yard line, a gain of about 12.
Well, Robbins comes in. He's only gained 605 yards, John, on the year, and that's amazing to me because he's a Division I prospect, and every time, the 2 times we've seen him in the first carry tonight, he just looks like a stud back there.
6'2", 220, a junior, getting a lot of looks from Division I colleges. 3 receivers in there, a pistol again. De'Aaron Robinson is in at running back now. They give Robbins a break. Rolling to right is Rechtenwald. Wants to throw, does throw, has a man wide open at the 45, has a first down to midfield. Somebody lost Braxton Cannon because there was nobody near him over there.
Well, it's just a roll out to the right, and Manual runs a lot of guys down the field, but they keep one receiver in the flat, and just a little pitch and catch on that play, and Manual Crimsons move the ball across midfield to the Tiger 49, and kind of how, I know it's only been a couple plays, but this is how it kind of started at Manual Stadium.
It's a gain of 14 for Cannon and a first down in St. X territory at the 49. Now that three-man I backfield. One receiver to the left, tight end to the right. Rechtenwald takes a snap. Second man through. It's Conlon. Not much there. Push back right at the 48. We'll give him a yard. Doug Schaffner and Patrick Owen, the starting linebackers, came up quickly to get involved in that tackle. It'll be second down and 9.
And, John, last time we played them, Raymond Townsend, the freshman, was the guy carrying it out there. Interesting that Alex Conlon is playing running back. He's carried the ball 7 times this year for 4 yards. So another twist by Manual with a different player in the football game.
And he's also the backup quarterback, so watch for a little trickeration when he's in there. He's out now. Robinson is in the backfield. And Rechtenwald in the pistol. He wants to throw on second down. Throws to the left, and it's out of the reach of his intended receiver. Not a good throw. Michael Song was the intended receiver, but Evan Walker was right there with him from his linebacker spot.
And I believe it was Yules that brought the pressure from the right side, got a hand up, and just made that pass. Might even got a finger on it as it went fluttering off to the St. X side of the field. So 7:33 left, first quarter. Tigers lead the Crimsons from Manual, 7-0.
Third down and 9. Crimson send 2 receivers to the right. That's Cannon and Blakey. Floyd is wide to the left. Rechtenwald, straight drop, 4-man rush. Rolling out is Rechtenwald. He's going to have to run with it, and he is going to be brought down well short of the first down. Good pressure as Schaffner came from his linebacker spot up the middle. Yules and Carlin able to chase down the quarterback Rechtenwald at about the 42. That'll bring up a 4th and 4, and the punt team comes in. And Legatron, as he is known.
Tigers look a little confused here.
And they have nobody deep as Nick Kopp is ready to kick it away. It's a fake. Running to the right and hit close right at the first down marker.
It's going to be all about the mark.
Yeah, it's a first down. They snapped it to Conlon, that backup quarterback. Oh, I don't know. No, he's short.
I was watching it on the monitor here.
The far line judge was giving him the 39, but this near judge did not give it to him. And the Tigers will take over on downs.
Well, they almost caught the Tigers off guard right there. They were running guys in and out, and you had to kind of expect it. Manual has nothing to lose tonight. They might as well wheel and deal, do whatever they can. So Tigers get the stop, and I watched the one referee mark it, and the other one they did mark it in different spots, but it came up way short actually.
Risky move by the Crimson that does not pay off. So the Tigers will start basically at their own 40. And here is Allgaier, has room across the 45, tripped up short of the first down marker. Eli Blakey came up to make the tackle at the 48. It's a gain of 8 for Allgaier.
Well, Dominic Allgaier transferred to St. X after his sophomore year. Sat out last year. Had 15 carries against the Crimsons in the first game for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a little personal for Dominic when he's playing the Crimsons. He'll get the call again and tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Fought forward for a yard, so it'll bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and about a yard. Jacob Bratcher, the linebacker, came flying from his outside spot to get Allgaier by the legs.
And I know the Crimsons don't expect Keegan Sullivan to carry the ball, but if he'd have kept it that time, he'd have been walking down the sideline for a touchdown. So Tigers might go to it in a little bit.
Garrett in motion from left to right. Tigers will now reset and look to the sideline. Allgaier is the halfback. Varga is the H-back. Crum wide to the right. Manuel showing blitz. They give it to Allgaier, and he is hit and fights his way forward close to the first down. He might have it at the 50, and if he did, it was his own individual effort that did it. Manuel saying they have the football, but his knee went down right on the 50-yard line, and he still had the ball. So,
and I'm telling you,
if they give
John,
him the 50, it's a first down, and they do.
And they do. They actually mark it across the 50, but once again, nobody even watching Keegan Sullivan when he fakes the ball. They've just discarded him. I know they don't want him to run it, but one time he's going to keep it, and I'm telling you where he's going to run. He's going to run to the house. And it's being safe. You talked about it before the game, but Tigers going, ready to go.
Empty backfield this time. Actually, Moretti was back there, but Keegan wants to throw. He's got a man, Varga, out of the H-back spot to the 45-40 first down. I like Varga. He just lowers his shoulder and takes on Marcus Floyd. They just kind of knock each other to the ground, but it's not until he gets down to the 38-yard line, gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, of junior Jack Varga, he has great hands, and Keegan Sullivan, John, got that out of there really quick and gave him an opportunity to run, and they're down to the Manual 38-yard line.
First down and 10. In motion from right to left comes Cameron Garrett. They fake it to him, whistle before the snap, and I think the Tigers, it's going to be offsides against Manual.
And, John, I would expect the Tigers to go play action right here, wouldn't you? 1st and 5 with a guy that we know. He's on 2 passes tonight. One of them's been for a touchdown, and that's the strength of Keegan Sullivan's game. And we saw it on the last play. It was just a little dump pass into the flat, but he got it out of there quick.
5:08 left here in the first quarter. 7-0 Tigers trying to add to that lead.
No safety.
4 receivers. Will Ginter is in the backfield. Allgaier and Crum are to the right. Mueller and Cameron Garrett wide to the left as the Tigers look to the sideline for the call. On 1st and 5. Option right, pitch to Ginter. He's got some room inside the 30. Knocked out of bounds. He has the first down. The 26-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on 1st and 5. And that's not an option, Tony. Keegan Sullivan's not going to run the football if the Tigers can do anything about it.
Well, Will Ginter got to the corner very quick, all 5-7 of him, and the Tigers get the ball down to the Crimson 26-yard line.
Allgaier back in there at tailback on 1st and 10. He'll get the call running up the gut. Good surge from that offensive line. He got about 3 to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. Boy, Clayton 6, Wyatt Smock, they were downfield with the guys they were blocking.
Yeah, that looked like a convoy getting out of there, and Tigers only get about 3, but boy, they sure moved them out. Nice play by the Manual defensive line.
2nd down and 7. Sullivan's got 3 receivers again. Varga is the H-back. Dominic Allgaier is the tailback. To the right, option to the right, pitch to Allgaier. Tried to get outside, the ball's on the ground. Luckily, it went out of bounds. Dominic got inside the 20-yard line. Nacho Jones, one of the best names of the year, knocked him out of bounds. The ball came loose, but luckily for the Tigers, it landed out of bounds. Dominic got to the 23-yard line, the 18-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 2. St. X in the Green Zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. Here's Allgaier. He's got the first down to the 15, just leaps over the pile and lands at the 13. And that'll be a gain of 5 and a first down for the Tigers. 3:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Tigers moving the football in their second drive as they lead 7-0. 3:30 left in the first quarter.
In motion is Garrett. They fake it to him, wanting to throw. It's Garrett wide open. No, it is not Garrett. It's Dominic Allgaier wide open out of the backfield, and I mean nobody near him.
Well, Manual, they just put everybody in the box. They know they have trouble against the Tigers. I'm counting them right now. They were in just straight man coverage, and the Tigers ran the wheel route, and Allgaier is just so wide open, John. We always say it, but you could have walked that one in, buddy.
I think even I could have scored on that one. Your dad's up here. I think both of us could have scored on that one. Matija for the extra point. 3:18 left here in the first quarter. It is up, and it is good. We'll keep it right here, 14-0. Tigers lead it. Trinity now leads 14-0 in their game. Jim Brinkman, Keegan Sullivan, perfect so far tonight.
Yeah, I could see Allgaier. He was running. I was only about 10 yards away from him, and he was coming out just wide open. Crum cleared out on that post play, similar with it, 14-0. And, you know, even though our cornerback and quarterback are both over here on the sideline, we're still, you know, the Tiger machine keeps marching on.
Yeah, Harrison Pate, the cornerback, out of school all week with an illness, so he is not going to play tonight. He should be back next week. Niley kicks it high and long and through the end zone. And Manuel will start at the 20, so Harrison Pate will be back next week. We've heard Ryan Dobson, who's been out with that knee dislocation from earlier from the Trinity game, I believe, is supposed to start possibly practicing next week. So hopefully
if the Tigers win,
will get back to full strength. Yeah, if the Tigers win, of course. I said that. DeSales leads Gallatin County 7-0 early. Butler and Ryle, we'll keep our eyes on that. Scoreless midway through the first quarter up at Ryle High School. First and 10, Rechtenwald in the pistol. He's got Aiden Robbins behind him and 3 receivers. He wants to throw. Quick one to the left. It is caught, hit, and dropped immediately by Desmond Andrews Ogbagu. Is Eli Blakey. He got about 6 out near the 26-yard line. It'll be second and about 4.
Well, a good-looking play, but Manuel's got to get that ball out to him quicker so he can make a move, and Andrew Zabagu comes up and makes a nice tackle, brings him down to the ground. So you're looking at 2nd and 4 for Manuel from their own 26-yard line. The DeSales Colts have gone up 7-0 in their football game.
One receiver goes wide to the right. That is Chambers Sutton, who we did not see on the first series tonight. Triple I backfield on 2nd and 4. Second man through is Robbins, fighting for the first down. He's not going to get there. Going to come up about a yard shy at the 29. Gang tackle by the Tigers. Cameron Sams in there. Ben Shugart, co-captain tonight, up off the bottom of the pile.
And, John, I think you'll see the Crimsons later on in the game, not here on 3rd and 1 from their own 29, but I think you'll see them go to that 3-man eye and then get straight man coverage on the outside and take a shot. You got man coverage. You got big receivers in Sutton and Floyd, and I think you'll see it later. But right now we're going to see, I believe, power football from the Crimsons.
Now 2-man eye, extra tight end in the game on 3rd and 1. Rechtenwald with a long snap count. Second man through is Robbins. Hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, and he's got the first down. Well, Andrew Ewell's had him. There is a flag at the 29-yard line. But boy, Ewell's had a shot right at the line of scrimmage, Tony, and just couldn't bring down Robbins. He's a good running back.
It was a great move, but Evan Walker got,
face mask against the Tigers. Good call.
Well, it could be a face mask, but where they threw it, I watched the replay, and the guy on the outside had a hold of Evan Walker's jersey. But a big play for Manuel to get the first down, and they trail 14-0, and it will move the ball all the way out to their own 46-yard line.
How nice is it to have the streaming replays?
I want to thank Tim Bryan back here. Him and Matt McCarthy do such a great job, and the guys that are doing the video for the game. And, boy, we have a nice monitor of replays, high definition. We got it tough.
First and 10 at the 46 after the 15-yard add-on to the penalty. Sutton wide to the right. 3 receivers that way. That's the wide side of the field. Robbins in the backfield. Rechtenwald in the pistol. Takes the snap, gives it to Robbins. Met at the line of scrimmage. Got away from the first man, but not the second man. Ewells again beats his man into the backfield.
Evan Walker there, too.
Walker and Patrick Owen made the tackle, but Ewells had a face-to-face with Robbins in the backfield, and Aiden Robbins good. He just able to slice away from Andrew Ewells to pick up 2 yards when he should have been caught in the backfield. Under a minute to go here in first quarter. 14-0. Tigers lead it. Opening round of the 6A playoffs. 3 to the right. Marcus Floyd is the widest. On 2nd down and 8. Rechtenwald wants to throw to the right quickly. It's to Floyd. He drops it. Had it at the 48. Nolan Bruner, Eric Lyons, and Jude Carlin were all in the area, but Floyd was going to be able to catch that, Tony, and maybe make a move.
Well, they had 3 guys out to the right. Tigers playing soft with the second guy in the formation with the safety back there. And it was a play that should have worked for the Crimson. Tigers defended it pretty well, but when you get it that quick, you got to catch the football.
3rd down and 8. Walker's at the line of scrimmage now, so Tigers with 5 at the line. Crimson's with 3 receivers to the right again. Rechtenwald takes a snap, rolls to the right. I thought somebody moved, and that's going to be against the Crimson's it looked like just a timing issue on the snap. I think everybody got a little bit of a head start before the snap.
Yeah, I was watching the linebackers. I wanted to see how the Tigers were going to play that because it looked like, I don't know which one of the linebackers it is there because it's so hard to read these numbers, but it was going to float into the outside. I believe it was Jake Archer. So see what the Tigers do. They have Shepard in the game at linebacker right now, and Archer. So a different group of middle linebackers. Shepard more the pass coverage guy who moved from corner to linebacker, and now the Crimsons look at 3rd and 13 from their own 43.
2 receivers to the right, Floyd to the left. Tight end to the left, and the tailback is Robinson. Reckenwald looking things over, now takes a snap, straight drop, wants to throw. In trouble, rolls left, still behind the line, throws high and deep down the left side, looking for Floyd, tipped away. Good defense there from Andrews Agbagu, who went up and knocked it away. Marcus Floyd had good position there, Tony, but give Andrews Agbagu credit. He fought for his own position, was able to knock it away, and the Crimsons will have to kick it away.
Well, good pressure for the Tigers initially. Then Reckenwald rolls out and takes a shot, but didn't have much room for Floyd out there. He had the sideline and Andrews Abagu and another receiver and Carlin back there. And see what I think the Crimsons will punt this one away with 32 seconds.
Holy Cross leads Ludlow 14-0 first quarter on the road. Kopp will kick it. Ginter is deep. High, deep kick. Will call a fair catch, and now he lets it bounce at the 20 and will actually catch it on the St. X sideline at about the 16-yard line. The Tigers will take over there 1st and 10. It's a different defense, Jim Brinkman, than we saw over at Manual Stadium 4 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, it's been a difference with defense the last 3 weeks here with the 2 shutouts and only giving up 17 points to nationally ranked Cincinnati St. X. I mean, it really is a very, very fluid. Desmond Andrews Abagu actually had a very good technique on that last play.
Here's Moretti on 1st down up the middle on what may be the last play of the half. Gets across the 20 out there, the 22, so give Moretti 5 on 1st down. And it'll be 2nd down when we come back. First quarter in the books, 14-0 St. X. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my house, watching the game is a big
Todd Powers, 14-0. St. X leads Manual here after 1 quarter of play. And the Tigers just got the ball back. They'll have a 2nd and 5 at their own 22 as we begin play here in the 2nd quarter. Trinity leads Seneca 28-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. We certainly expected that. Anderson County 7, Fern Creek 0 after a quarter. Quick throw to the left, incomplete. First incompletion. Andre Coleman, the intended receiver, and Keegan Sullivan staring him down a little bit here. Keegan 3 for 3 in the first quarter with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been sharp. 2 good passes on 2 good wide open formations, which you still got to hit them if they're there. But they ran Coleman in motion, tried to get it out in the flat. Didn't do it very well. They didn't catch it. But Johnston, Harkins, Coleman, the second group of receivers, a good group, are in the game.
Johnston, the guy that was out with an injury last week. Good to see Zach back. Quick throw to the left. Caught, dropped by Coleman. Had the first down at the 27 and just dropped it. And the Tigers will have to punt 3 and out for the first time tonight.
Well, Andre Coleman's got to catch that ball. That ball's hit him in the numbers. Unfortunately for Andre, he drops it, and the Tigers will punt it away. After Keegan Sullivan will tell you 2 good passes out of this through.
Well, and he should. And Kyle Nally will kick it away for the Tigers. De'Aaron Robinson, the running back, and Marcus Floyd, the wide receiver / defensive back, are deep for the Crimsons. Nally kicks it away. A fair catch called for. Ball's on the ground. And I believe that Robinson was able to get his own muff back. And he was. Netherton was there, closest Tiger, but Robinson never really in danger of not getting it back unless he let it squirt out when he jumped on it. So 1st and 10 Crimsons, good field position at their own 46. They trail St. X here 14-0.
Well, St. X kind of shot themselves in the foot first 2 times they've got the football. They've scored, and that time a couple drops. And Manuel takes over. Like you said, a good field possession here. Early second quarter, Tigers lead 14-0.
Now Marcus Floyd, who will play just about everywhere, lined up in the backfield behind Rechtenwald, who's under center. Quick throw to the right. It is caught. And Jake Netherton with a nice tackle at the 47-yard line. It's a gain of a yard for Braxton Cannon, but no more as Netherton came up quickly to make the hit.
Well, surprised that play didn't work better. Tigers way off. They split 2 guys way to the right. Connor Netherton's up on the receiver, the safety. I believe that's Carlin, might be Borman. Really deep, 12 yards off, and they get it out there. And, boy, Netherton fights off a block, makes the tackle at the 48.
It was actually a 2-yard gain for Cannon, so it's 2nd down and 8. Floyd and Cannon go wide to the left. Blakey wide to the right. Robinson in the backfield, pistol formation. Rechtenwald wants to throw. Looks left, throws left, has a man. It is caught and dropped at the 49-yard line, maybe the 48 by Eric Lyons. And I believe that was Cannon again. Braxton Cannon with his 2nd consecutive catch in St. X territory at the 48. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Crimsons.
And a good sure tackle right there by Lyons because, once again, John, whenever they see that slot receiver uncovered, they're getting it out quick, and that's what I would do. But Tigers, 2 really nice defensive plays by the defensive backs the last 2 plays.
3rd down and 4. Crimson send Blakey and Conlon to the left, Cannon to the right. The lone setback is Robinson. Under center this time is Rechtenwald. And he will fake it to Robinson, wants to throw, looking for Conlon. He's got him, but overshot him, just missed him. Shepard and Lyons were the closest Tigers. And it'll be 4th down and 4, and that's just a miss, Tony, from Zach Rechtenwald.
Yeah, John, and I think he expected Conlon maybe to cut it up a little more and get it out quicker. And Conlon's a guy, looking at the numbers, has not played much running back, so not on the same page. Rechtenwald and Conlon, 2 quarterbacks.
Jude Carlin is deep, Tony, as the Tigers keep their base defense in there, and he's not really very deep. Kopp can kick it way over his head if he wants to. High snap. Nick Kopp brings it down, boots it out of there. It is high. Carlin gets away from it. It bounces at the 18. Takes a Tiger bounce, then a Crimson bounce, then a Tiger bounce, and they'll down it at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10, St. X there. 9:57 to go in the half. 14-0 Tigers.
Tigers scoring their first 2 possessions, and now they're going to get their 4th possession after not a very good possession last time. But like I said, 9:57, Tigers up 2 touchdowns here early in the football game.
DeSales leads Gallatin County 21-0. Under a minute to go in the first quarter over in the south end. Sullivan takes a snap, gives it to Allgaier. Boy, he ran over one defender, got the first down across the 26, and Dominic Allgaier showing a little power. Slow to get up, but that's because he's just waiting for a teammate to help him up.
Boy, Elijah Payne came up and hit him, and then Allgaier took him about 6 or 7 yards with him, hanging on for his dear life as Tigers get out to the 30-yard line.
Gain of 13 for Dominic, and he'll get the call again, running right, crosses the 30, but not much more, maybe the 31. Blakey brought him down. It's a gain of a couple. Bring up 2nd down and 8.
Tigers don't fool around this possession and just hand it off and running right back at the Crimsons, which they've done effectively, and then they've thrown the ball off of the run. We'll see what they do here with Keegan Sullivan at quarterback.
The starting receivers back in there now, Crum, Mueller, and Garrett. Vargas in at H-back. They give it to Garrett on the jet sweep, running left. Flag is down. Late flag, early flag, probably an illegal formation for the Tigers.
It's definitely, I think, going to be on the Tigers because they ran to play either illegal formation or a hold. We'll see what happens.
It came out almost too quickly
Yeah.
for it to be a hold, I think. Garrett got across the 30 and really not much more than that when he stepped out of bounds. So I think if you're Scott Carmody, do you give him 3rd and 8? He's going to give him 3rd and 8. And he'll decline this penalty. Tigers will stay at the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Keegan Sullivan. If you're just joining us, Jack Albers not ruled out of this game. He could play, but he dislocated that pinky late in the Cincinnati St. X game last week. Through yesterday, did not practice at all until then. He's available, but Will Wolford would love to win this game without having to use Jack Albers. I expect him back next week at full strength. Keegan empty backfield, wants to throw. It's a bubble screen and it's knocked to the ground.
Wow, that was set up.
Looking for Allgaier, but a great job by number 43, who is not on my roster, to get his hand up, knock it down. And the Tigers will punt for the second straight possession with 8:58 to go in the half.
Well, they had Algar out in motion, and then he came back. And, John, there was 20 yards to run before there was going to be a Crimson, but a great job by the Manual defense to get the deflection and going to get the ball back here. 2 stops of the Tigers, last 2 possessions.
Russell Thomas instead of Dwayne Robinson
Uh-oh.
deep now, and Nally just got it out of there and got a good kick out of there. Floyd will take it at the 30, running upfield to the 40, to the left sideline near the Manual sideline, pushed out of bounds short of midfield. Good return from Marcus Floyd, and Ben Mueller able to push him out of bounds. But good field position for the Crimsons again, Tony.
Yeah, John, and I don't know how they didn't block that one. And like you said, the best punt that Kyle Nally's had all night, but a nice run back. And Manual, after giving up the 2 quick touchdowns in the first quarter, have stopped the Tigers' last 2 drives, and they will get the ball at their own 48-yard line. So good field position for Manual last couple of times.
Keegan Sullivan, I think, doing a terrific job. But what you miss with Albers, Tony, is running the football out of that quarterback position.
Well, you got to catch a couple of passes,
Absolutely. 1st and 10, Floyd comes wide to the right, 2 tight ends, and an eye backfield behind Rechtenwall. He's under center, takes a snap, play action, wants to throw, rolls to the right, wants to throw it deep for Floyd, gets it up in the air, and it's almost picked off. Jake Netherton stepped in front of Floyd, and I'm telling you, if he catches that, Tony, he's going to get deep into Manual territory.
Well, Floyd's the athlete. We talked about it a couple of possessions ago. They're going to line up in that running formation and take a shot. And the problem was Floyd was all the way to the right side of the field. The ball was at the hash mark on the left side, and he's trying to throw that sucker about 60 yards across the field and didn't have enough arm strength. And I think Jake Netherton will tell you, man, I cannot believe I didn't catch that one.
2nd and 10. And we knew the Crimsons were going to take their shots, and they've taken a couple here on these last few drives, trying to get Marcus Floyd out in space. Pistol formation. Rechtenwald rolls right, wants to throw, being chased by Bruner, throws it out of there. It is caught short of the first down at the St. X 45-yard line is Braxton Cannon with another catch.
Peyton Mattingly and Jake Netherton on the tackle, but what a lot of teams try to do against the Tigers is they'll run those corners down the field hard and then stop and come back because they do like to give the cushion, and that time he came back, but Netherton came up, got a hold of the leg, and then Mattingly came over and finished him off. So looking at a 3rd and 3 for the Crimsons at the Tiger 45-yard line.
Clock stops, 8:05, or clock continues to run, I should say. 8 minutes now left here in the first half. 14-0 Tigers. Robbins and Conlon are split. Now Robbins will go to the slot, and that leaves Floyd as the lone setback. Manual will call a timeout. We'll take one as well with 7:47 to go in the half. 14-0 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Down 3. Pitch to the left. Marcus Floyd has the first down and more across the 40. Down inside the 35-yard line. Good blocking out in front of Marcus Floyd. Made a couple Tigers miss. He gets to the 34. It's a gain of 11 on 3rd and 3 and a first down for Manuel.
Well, if you're on the outside for the Tigers, you have to control that, and you cannot come in, and that's what happened. He just he went inside and bounced it out, and they get a nice play and get the first down. So Manuel moves the ball down to the Tiger 34-yard line.
14-0. St. X leads it midway through the second quarter here. Braxton Cannon comes wide to the right. That's the wide side of the field. He's the only guy over there. Conlon is the fullback, and Floyd the tailback on 1st and 10. Blakey is wide to the left. That's the short side. They give it to Floyd. He is hit by Deemer. Fights his way forward. Actually, they're not even going to give him a half yard. No gain on the plays. Dennis Deemer came through and made the tackle. Slow to get up is Floyd. Yes, he'll sort of gingerly walk back to the huddle.
Well, Deemer just flat beat his guy, uses his quickness. Not the biggest, strongest guy, but good quickness, move from outside linebacker to a defensive lineman, just like Nolan Bruner did. And two guys that use their quickness very well, and Deemer with a really nice play on first down.
So no gain, 2nd down 10, ball still at the 34. Now Floyd comes out of the backfield, goes wide to the left. De'Aaron Robinson is the tailback, wanting to throw to the right. It is through the hands of Sutton. Netherton was right there. Was going to bring him down immediately, but Sutton a little bit high, but it's got to bring that one in.
Well, I can't believe there wasn't an illegal formation. I'm watching the monitor, and Manuel running back went into where the tight end was. The wide receiver was on the line of scrimmage, and can't do that in high school football, but incomplete pass, he overshoots the guy, so 3rd and 10 from the Tiger 34. Tigers lead 14-0, 6:23 left here in the first half.
Well, Tony, you can do it as long as they don't see it.
There's a lot of things you can do, as long as you don't get called on it.
3rd down and 10. Cannon comes wide to the right. Slotted that way is Marcus Floyd. Sutton to the left, and Robinson is the tailback. And a whistle and another timeout as the Scott Carmody didn't like what he saw. He'll take one as well with 6:23 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Back at St. X, 3rd and 10 for the Crimsons. Recktenwald in the shotgun, rolls right, wants to throw. Pressure comes from the middle. He is in trouble, and he is dumped. Andrew Ewells forced him right, and when he tried to go back left, Cameron Sams was there along with
see who they're picking up off the bottom.
It's Evan Walker up off the bottom of the pile. And I want to give credit to Deemer again as well. So loss back to the 42, a loss of 8 for the Crimsons. And they'll send Nick Kopp out, Legatron, to kick it away with under 6 minutes to go here in the half. 14-0, St. X leads it.
Well, Andrew Ewells should get an assist there, John.
And Andrews Ogbagu goes deep for the Tigers. They have left their regular defense in there on all of these punts. Kopp with plenty of time, tries to kick it to the sideline, and he missed that one. It bounces out of bounds. He got a nice roll actually out of it. No, maybe he didn't.
Yeah, that referee just ran down.
26-yard line, so a 16-yard kick, and Legatron missed that one. Jim Brinkman, are you still awake down there?
I am, and
We haven't come to him in a while.
Yeah, the pace of this game is kind of a contrast. You see Manuel trying to take all 25 seconds, and St. X is trying to run play after play until they realize, hey, we're up 14-0.
Yeah, that's a good point. Running back is Dominic Allgaier. He will keep it up the middle. I think it's Allgaier. It might be Moretti. Those uniforms are very difficult to see. And it is Anthony Moretti. And he gets a couple out to the 29-yard line. We'll give him 3 before he's gang tackled out there. Crum, Mueller, and Garrett are in at wide receiver right now. And Trenton Zoller back in as the H-back spot. On 2nd and 7, Keegan takes a snap. Play action. Quick throw to the left. It is caught and dropped by Garrett. A couple of drops by the Tigers tonight. That's just focus.
Concentration. You're right, John. It gets the ball out to him. And last 3 passes that he's put on the money have been dropped. And I was just thinking, Manuel's walking up again, and they're spreading them out. And the Tigers have just lost all their rhythm. You made a good point on the rhythm right now. And if you're Coach Carmody, I know you're down 2 touchdowns, but you got to be happy with the pace of the game right now.
And Manuel will get the ball to start the second half. Keep that in mind. 3rd down and 8. Keegan wants to throw. Pressure comes. Throws high and deep and in trouble. It's Floyd with the interception down at the 36-yard line. As good as a punt, but Garrett was the intended receiver, but Keegan just threw that one up for grabs, and Marcus Floyd is too good of an athlete to just throw it up for grabs.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of late pressure. They brought the safety, and what happened was Sullivan tried to throw that off his back foot, and when you're trying to throw the ball about 40 or 50 yards, and actually Garrett was the receiver was behind the defensive back, he just couldn't throw it that far.
So Manuel takes over on the interception at their own 36-yard line. 4:54 to go in the half. Crimsons only have 1 timeout left. Zach Rechtenwald under center. Floyd is the deep back. Quick throw to the left, a backward pass caught by Cannon. Eric Lyons will force him out of bounds as he crosses the 40 to about the 43-yard line. So a gain of 7 on 1st down. A lot of catches. We'll check at halftime, see how many, but Braxton Cannon seems to be the go-to guy right now.
And with the 14-0 lead by the Tigers, one big play by the Crimsons put them right back in this thing. So Tiger defense needs to get the Crimsons off the field because the Tiger offense having trouble catching the football.
2nd down and 3. Tigers have Shugart, Yules, and Bruner in at the front 3. Skrodsky and O'Day are the linebackers, the outside linebackers right now, with Owen and Schaffner in the middle. Pistol formation, Robbins back in the backfield. We haven't seen him in a while. Wanting to throw deep is Rechtenwald. Over the middle and incomplete. Overshot Floyd, his intended receiver. Good coverage by Desmond Andrews-Ogbagu, who was stride for stride with Marcus Floyd. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 3. So they take a shot on 2nd and short.
And a good call in that situation. You're trying to get points, and you're looking for any opportunity that you can get it down the field. But the first half of the game last time was 28-20 at halftime. Tigers scoring the first possession of this one, and it's 14-0. There hasn't been any points scored in this game in a while.
So 3rd and 3, big 3rd down here for the Crimsons. If they can get a 1st down, keep this drive alive, they're thinking about getting down there and trying to score. 2 to the right, offset eye in the backfield. They give it to Robbins, running left, in trouble, hit and dropped. Right at the line of scrimmage, might have lost yard. Ogbagu came up, Andrews Ogbagu, and forced him to go back inside, and Shugart and Yules were there. So no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 3, and the Tigers this time send the punt return unit out on 4th and 3. Well, they faked it once and didn't get it at about the same spot on the field. Conlon is the up back. Nick Kopp in punt formation. They snap it back. He'll boot it out of there. Better kick this time, but not great. Takes a great roll. Bounces inside the 6, inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Got a great hit at about the 28 and just shot forward. They'll spot it at the 15. So a 42-yard kick from Nick Kopp. So the Tigers with all 3 timeouts left, and they'll start at their own 15, 3:58 to go in the half, leading 14-0.
And a mistake by the Tiger kick return team right there. I think Will Ginter was way too deep. The ball hits in front of him, and he cannot pick it up. He catches it, saves him at least 10 yards. But Tigers, bad field position at their own 15 to start this drive.
Sullivan in the backfield in the shotgun, hands it off to Allgaier up the middle. He's across the 20 at about the 22-yard line, a gain of 7 before he's hauled down. Game the Tigers are and the Crimsons are both keeping their eye on. PRP 14-0 over Cooper midway through the second quarter. We'll keep you updated on that one. Winner of this one gets the winner of that one. Handoff up the middle, brought down short of the first down.
I don't think he was down, and they weren't going to blow the whistle. I think he was on top of the manual player watching the monitor.
They give him the 24-yard line. It was Allgaier again. So a gain of 2, bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Tigers.
I think the Tigers need to pick the pace up right here. Everything's really stagnant. I know there's only 3 minutes, but if I'm St. X right now, I want to get in a groove and try to get something, get Manual on their heels.
Mueller to the right, Crum to the left. 2 H-backs in there. Give it to Allgaier, running right. He's got a hole. Got a great block out there from Smock and Zoller, who opened it up. He's across the 30. First down easily out to the 31-yard line, a gain of 7. And now I think you really pick it up, Tony. You're under 3 minutes.
And John, I don't care if they throw it or pass it. I just think right now, the way this game's going, they need to get rhythm.
So you don't care if they throw it or pass it?
Well, yeah, one or the other.
It's an option left, and this time Sullivan keeps it, and he is dropped at the line of scrimmage. Well, you said earlier if he keeps it a couple times, great move. That one, not so much.
Well, he faked the pitch and then tried to go up the middle, and I don't think that's the design play by the Tiger coaching staff with Keegan Sullivan, the junior quarterback, who's actually done a nice job tonight. He's had some drops. He's thrown a couple touchdown passes, but Tigers in not a big hurry here, 2nd and 9.
It's gain of a yard for Sullivan on his first carry of the night. 2 H-backs in there again. Play action, rolling right, wants to throw. Has a man open at the 45. Has the first down, lowering his shoulder and getting out to the 47 is Will Crum. His first catch of the night. And now the Tigers quickly getting to the line of scrimmage.
Crum had 6 catches for 154 in the first game. And I just think it's a rhythm right now, John. The way the game's going, it's in Manual. Manual likes this. Tigers pick it up and get after him.
Gain of 15 for Crum on his first catch. Empty backfield now for Keegan. In motion is Ginter. They play action to him. Wanting to throw high over the middle. He's got Mueller caught, hit as he came to the turf. Hit in the air by Floyd was Ben Mueller, but able to hang on and knock down at the 26-yard line of Manual, and that's a gain of 27.
And that's one of the plays they torched Manual on in the first game, the play action, and they don't have a safety because they spread them out, and you just basically get man coverage down the middle of the field, and Crum had a good, had good space between the defensive back, and now Tigers go quickly as the clock runs down to 1:35.
And keep in mind, Tigers with all 3 timeouts left, so they can play with the clock a little bit if they want. This time they give it to Ginter on the jet sweep, running left. Needs to get out of bounds, and he is thrown out of bounds and thrown forward, actually, by Nacho Jones. That's Nacho Jones. And they throw him out at about the 21-yard line. So a gain of 6 on the jet sweep for Will Ginter. Tigers save a timeout as he got out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:25.
Yeah, and I don't mind that run. They make it look like the play before, and you know he's going to get to the outside, but he's got to do a better job of finding that sideline. But Tigers ready to go here. 1:25 left in the half. They lead by 2 touchdowns.
Allgaier is the setback, and he will get the call. Running right, hit in the backfield, and drop. No gain.
Got to go quickly here.
3rd and 5.
Got 3 timeouts. Tigers in no hurry, though.
Good penetration by the Crimsons that time. Clock continues to run with 1:05 to play here in the half.
A lot of time being used here. You're not worried about Manuel getting the ball. I don't understand what the Tigers are doing here. Can't worry about being 3rd and 5. Goodness. Going to use the whole play clock.
We are under 50 seconds now, and the Tigers still out at the 21-yard line. 3rd down and 5. They fake the pitch. Sullivan throws over the middle. He's got a man caught. Touchdown. That is Ben Mueller, his 2nd of the night. And there was pressure on Sullivan that time, Tony. He got hit as he threw, but, boy, good arm strength. Got it over the middle to Mueller, who beat his man.
Well, that was a phenomenal pass by Keegan Sullivan. He got hit, and he was on his back foot, and he got enough on it to get it down there. Manuel came with the blitz, had him, but Keegan Sullivan makes a play. Tigers knew what they were doing. They were taking their time, made sure they got the points up 20-0. Alan Matisse on to attempt.
And only 41 seconds left for Manuel to try to do anything. The kick is good. 21-0 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. with the two.
We're their official sign provider. For more information, call 502.
All right, now kick it out of the end zone. Oh, Squibber. Oh, it hit him in the face. A little squib kick that time from Kyle Nally, and it hit one of the up men, Alan Pasqua. Tony, you know Alan Pasqua. Hit him right in the face mask. It kind of bounced up, hit Pasqua right in the face mask. He was able to fall on it, so Manual started their 35. Impressive drive there, Jim.
Yeah, you know, the working toward the end of the first half kind of helped us. I think we picked up the pace, what Tony was talking about, and it made our offense that much better.
Yeah, I agree. The pace pickup is big with this team. They like pace, no matter who the quarterback is. Under center, Rechtenwald, 1st and 10 at his own 35. Now, if you're the Crimsons, really the last thing you can do is turn it over here. He'll give it to Robinson, breaks the first tackle across the 40. Kind of gang tackled out at the 42-yard line. A flag came down, I believe. Yeah, right at the point of the tackle. That's, well, it's one of two things. It's a hold or a face mask. And if it's a face mask, it's going to give Manual the ball in St. X territory. 29 seconds to go in the half. But Crimsons are walking backwards, so.
Well, Robinson's a sophomore. We haven't seen Raymount Townsend, a freshman.
Face mask.
Two good-looking running backs that Manual have that are a freshman and a sophomore. But you're down to 29 seconds right here. So Tiger defense that's a big
15-yarder, yeah.
Didn't seem like it was going to go that far.
All the way down to the St. X 43. So the Crimsons trying to go quickly because they're down to one timeout.
Tigers need some help on the outside here.
Rechtenwald spikes it. Takes the first down.
Clock's still running though.
Spike. Diving in there was Connor Schaefer. He just tried to, he knew he was going to spike it. He tried to dive and catch it. Nice play by Schaefer.
Tigers let the clock. Wow, they're not going to put time on the clock.
I don't understand how there's 18.6. There was 29 and he spiked it.
I cannot believe the Manual coaching staff is not going nuts right now.
The referees are holding up play here. They're going to talk things over here.
I think they want time put back on, but I don't know how they communicate that.
He's going to, I think the head referee's going to look up here and flash the number that he wants on the clock.
I hope he doesn't flash him something else.
He may have already flashed it and they're waiting for him to put it on.
23 on the clock right now.
Well, that was a 6-second spike, so nice job, Tiger defense. So 2nd and 10. Pistol formation. Robbins is the lone setback. 3 receivers. Quick throw to the left. It is caught by Blakey, and he's pushed out of bounds. Short of the first down. At the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 7. They'll bring up 3rd down and 3 with 19.2. Blakey got out of bounds to stop the clock. And if you're Scott Carmody, Tony, sure you want a touchdown, but you know what? You'll take a copped field goal and then the ball to start the second half. That's a big face mask penalty against the Tigers. 2 receivers to the right. Floyd alone to the left. That's the short side of the field on 3rd and 3. Looking at Floyd. Now pulls it down. Rechtenwald will run. This is going to run some clock. He gets the first down to the 30. Bruner and Schaffner combine on the tackle for the Tigers.
What a nice job by Rechtenwald there to realize that he didn't have anything. Get the first down.
And they start the clock. Crimsons are not on the ball. They were walking to the sideline like they expected to call their last time out, and now Rechtenwald will spike it with 7.7. So they wasted about 7 seconds there.
And, John, you'll say this. You can't take that timeout with you, so if you're not ready to go, you're better off using it. But we'll see what the Crimsons can do here with 7.7 on the clock with the ball to Tiger. 30 Tigers up 21-0.
I think you play deep here.
I think you do
too. To one of these guys down toward the end zone, I would think. Rechtenwald takes a snap. Quick drop. Actually throws it to Floyd over the middle. He gets down at the 18-yard line with 4.2 seconds. And they'll stop the clock. Manual will use her last time out. We'll take it as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact. Back at St. X, Nick Kopp with a field goal attempt, plenty of leg, and it is no good. He hooked it to the left.
Got to roughen the kicker, though.
Yeah, and Kopp is down at about the 35-yard line and limping, which is never good for anybody, especially a kicker. So that'll extend the half. The clock is at zeros right now.
But can he kick it?
They're going to give the Crimsons 15 yards here, and that's the third personal foul for the Tigers in the first half, Tony. You have 2 face masks, which are probably inadvertent, but it's an automatic 15. And now roughing the kicker.
Well, they're going to get the ball, the 9-yard line, I guess, after they mark this off?
Yeah, 18, half the distance, should go to the 9. And that'll make it about a 26-yard field goal.
Well,
he had plenty of leg.
Johnny, offense came back out on the field for the Crimsons.
I'm surprised because Kopp had plenty of leg on that one, Tony.
Yeah, I guess their thought process is we're not going to stop the Tigers. We haven't scored. Let's take one shot from the 9-yard line.
And they will do that. Blakey and Cannon to the right. Floyd to the left. Shotgun with Robbins in the backfield. 3-man, 4-man rush. Quick throw to Robbins, and it's knocked away on a flag. Comes down. Terrible call on Ogbagu.
Here's the replay I'm going to watch for
Boy,
you.
that is...
I think it's a good call.
Maybe.
John.
It's close. I thought good coverage from Desmond. But it'll be interference against the Tigers. That'll be another half the distance, so they'll move it inside the 5-yard line here.
How many plays can you run with no time on the clock?
Well,
as many as
at least 2.
But, John, I think it was a good call in the replay. I think he was just a little early. Got the hand out to knock the ball down, but I think he went through the receiver right before that. You know, Manual could run the ball here. They could spread you out and try to run it.
I'd be surprised with no time on the clock here.
So that's play no matter what.
Wants to throw, looking for Floyd again. They just throw it up high, and it is knocked down. Redemption for Desmond Andrews Ogbagu, who went up with Floyd and just knocked it to the turf. Halftime is here. It is 21-0 St. X. We'll hang around and get the comments from as Jim Brinkman catches up with the head coach, but you have to be ecstatic with the way Keegan Sullivan's play.
Oh, I think definitely. And like I said, the third possession there was 2 drops. The fourth possession there was a drop. So don't blame those on him. And a great job by Andrews Ogbagu there, John. They just decided to go jump ball. And he did. Manuel did have the height, but Andrews Ogbagu gets up, knocks it away. And Tigers huddle and as they lead at 21-0 here at halftime. And they're getting ready to break the huddle, and we'll see what the coach has to say about the first half here.
Let's head on down to Jimmy.
Coach, pretty spirited talk there. 21-0 at half.
Well, we're playing without our offensive quarterback, our defensive quarterback, a corner, a couple other guys. So, no, I'm very proud of the way we played so far. Make sure it continues.
It seemed like the pace of the game in the second quarter kind of slowed down to Manuel's liking, and then, that last drive, you really picked it up on offense.
It's 21-0, so I like it. Guys, much less in the playoffs. It was a damn good.
Oh, one of the best things to heal an injury is when your backup goes in and throws 3 touchdown passes.
Well, Desmond's out there as a backup. Eric Lyons is playing as a backup, and Keegan of them, had some things they're very happy about. But, can we play better? Yep, and I think we will in the second half.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jimmy. Will Wolford, obviously in a joking mood here as we have reached halftime. Eye Care Institute halftime report is next. Tigers lead it over the Crimsons here. First round of the 6A playoffs, 21-0. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
more than 3 wins. So you're looking at a game tonight where Tigers just looked to advance, and last time I saw it, John, you might be able to update this, was PRP 21, I believe. They were up 21-0
over the Cooper. The Cooper.
I couldn't remember if it's the Cooper or the Connor.
It's Cooper. PRP leads Cooper, as Tony said, 21-0. Winner of this one gets the winner of that one next week. If the Tigers win, they will host the winner of the PRP Cooper game. St. X with 2 chances for state titles tomorrow. So if you can get up into the Lexington area tomorrow, cross country will start at 2:15. The Class 3A boys cross country championship, state championship, will start at Kentucky Horse Park. Easy for me to say, Kentucky Horse Park at 2:15 tomorrow. And then when that's over, you can head over to Lafayette High School in Lexington to watch the St. X soccer team. Coach Andy Schulten's Tigers soccer team will take on Davies County, defending state champion, the team that the Tigers beat 6-1 earlier in the season. That's at 5 o'clock at Lexington Lafayette. So hopefully at this time tomorrow, the Tigers will have a couple more state championships under their belt. We'll take a break, come back with more here on the Eye Care Institute halftime report. St. X leads Manual 21-0 at the break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Ready, a couple of 10 or 12 yarders from Allgaier, Tony, but they're just it's just basic, get behind that offensive line and get some yardage. And at this point with a 21-0 lead, I certainly expect more of that.
Yeah, and actually, if you got to give Manual a little bit of credit. They've done a better job in this game than they did in the first one. They don't know they trail by a lot more than they did. But yeah, that's the Tigers' bread and butter. And I think John scoring so quickly and so easily that everybody lost focus, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
You just, okay, we're going to kill him. It's not going to be much of a game. And then Manuel hangs in there. Fortunately for the Tigers, the Manuel offense has just never really gotten going.
Ben Mueller caught the first touchdown, opening drive for the Tigers, 26 yards from Keegan Sullivan. It was 7-0 St. X with 10:09 to go in the first quarter. Then Dominic Agar, 13 yards, little wheel route. He was wide open, nobody near Dom. Sullivan hit him in stride. It was 14-0 with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. And then, as you said, Tony, the game just kind of slogged down. A couple of 3-and-outs for the Tigers, some drop passes. Manuel had really good field position to start a couple of drives across their own 40-yard line, but just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and you do lose focus. You're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids out here, and you start seeing everything become come easily. And they did lose focus, I believe. But they'll come out, I think, second half. And what they did to Manuel the first time was wear them out. And if you're Coach Carmody, you don't want to see a 21-point deficit at halftime.
Ben Mueller got his second touchdown with 41 seconds left in the half. It was a 21-yarder across the middle for the second time there from Keegan Sullivan. And that is where we stand right now. 21-0, second half action on the way. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Holy Cross is up 17-7 at half.
17. Here at the half, 3 touchdown passes from Keegan Sullivan. And the Tigers will kick it to start the second half. Let's talk basketball for a second. We're in November, so hoop season is upon us. St. X Tiger Green and Gold game is tomorrow 1:30 right over here at the Brother John Wills Sports Activity Center. So if you're jonesing for a little high school basketball, Tiger fans, come on over and watch the Green and Gold game here tomorrow at 1:30. Of course, Tony and I will be on the air with Tiger basketball all year long. Home opener is December 5th as the Tigers host the Central Yellow Jackets at 7:30. We'll be on with the Eye Care Institute pregame report at 7:05. That is a Tuesday night game. Home opener, Tigers and the Central Yellow Jackets, Coach Doug Bibby. It's always a lot of fun to take on the Jackets, whether it's at home or at the house.
Yeah, and I wasn't listening to you because I had to shut the door over there, but a lot of Tiger basketball players out here on the football field, John.
Yes.
And you've got Borman, and you've got the Bascoms, and you've got Carlin. I'm assuming all these guys are going to play. You got Evan Walker. You got Andre Coleman, James Shepard. I don't know if all the guys will play, but that's a lot of guys that were on in the basketball program last year.
And Sam Borman, a guy we haven't talked about tonight because he hasn't been on the field. He got a little banged up last week. Eric Lyons has gotten the majority of his reps at that safety spot, done a good job. Obviously, the Crimsons haven't scored. So Sam Borman hopefully will be back next week. Kickoff by Nally goes into the end zone, so Manual will start at their own 20. First down and 10. Zach Rechtenwald, the quarterback, 5'10", 155-pound sophomore, has gone the entire way here for the Crimsons. And again, they've had good field position, Tony, just haven't been able to move the football.
No, and the Tigers have defended the run really well, and those passes to the outside. What the Tigers have done well on the passing game is they've tackled well in space. A couple of knockdown passes. Andrew Abagu done a nice job. So Manuel's going to take over, and here we go. Start second half.
Under center this time is Rechtenwald. He's got Robbins in the backfield, who we haven't heard a lot from tonight. Quick throw to the right, caught by Cannon. We've heard a lot from him. He gets out to the 25 before Eric Lyons comes over and brings him down. Schaffner was in the area as well. It's a gain of 5 for Braxton Cannon.
And Cannon came into the game, John, with 5 catches.
Unbelievable.
So Conlon's been in the backfield. Cannon, they've got the athletes Floyd and Sutton and Robbins and some different guys who we haven't seen really been getting the football.
We haven't seen Raymond Townsend tonight, the freshman who had a big role in that first game. Sutton has been in and out of this game. He had some catches the first time. Unbalanced line this time. They run it left to Robbins. Brought down short of the first down. He crossed the 25, and Eric Lyons again came up to make the hit. Bruner was there as well, along with Schaffner. He gets to the 28. It's a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
I'm just looking, John. An interesting. Tigers go with an extra defensive lineman. Schaefer comes in the game, and nobody comes out. So Tigers have 4 down linemen in the game.
On 3rd down and 2, they set up in the 3-man eye. Rechtenwald under center, and he'll give it to Robbins, the second man through. He's got the first down, hauling him down from behind at the 33 after a gain of 5. That was
Patrick Owen
who brought him down, but a first down on the ground for the Crimsons.
Well, the Tigers sold out a little bit there. 4 down linemen, linebackers were up in tight, and Robbins almost gets loose out of there. And when you stack them in there and you break through, big things can happen, but Manuel gets the first down and has the ball at their own 33-yard line.
Pistol formation, 2 receivers each way. No tight end this time for the Crimson. Robinson in the backfield this time. Quick throw to the left. It is caught by Floyd at the 40. Tripped up by Andrew Zagbagu. Across the 40 to the 41, so it's a gain of about 8 on first down for Marcus Floyd.
Tigers have stayed in their base defense tonight, John. They really haven't put anybody on the slot receiver, what we've seen a lot lately. I think they're just trying to stay vanilla in this game and hopefully make the plays and not give up maybe a little bit what they're doing, but Manuel moving the football.
Cannon goes wide to the left. That's the short side. Now 2 tight ends, tight formation. And an eye backfield, 2-man eye behind Rechtenwald. And second man through is Robinson. He is not going to get much, if anything. Maybe the 42, give him a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Ewells gets up off the bottom of the pile. Actually, Evan Walker, excuse me.
Jude Carlin, who gets up a little shaking his head.
Carlin came flying up from his safety spot. It's 3rd and 1 at the 42. And Rechtenwald, my favorite play, runs to the bench, gets the play, now runs back out to the huddle. Has to get everybody in the right spot. Tight formation here, only one receiver in the pattern on 3rd and 1. Robinson's the deep setback, and the Tigers jump off sides. They brought that 4th lineman in again, and he jumped off side.
Well, that's an easy way to get a first down, and Crimsons will move the ball out to their own 47-yard line after the mistake by the Tigers.
9 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. 21-0 Tigers, opening drive of the second half. The Crimson started at their own 20. Now they're out to their own 47-yard line. 3 receivers go to the right. Sutton is the widest. The lone setback is Robinson. Wanting to throw, quick throw to Floyd out of the slot. Hit and drop, nothing there. Connor O'Day, Nolan Bruner combine on the hit, and boy, they sandwich Floyd. He is slow to get up. He is up. Got a little help from his running back, De'Aaron Robinson. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, Manuel had numbers on this side of the field, but a great job by the Tigers, and I talked about it a little while ago about tackling in space. But, you know, Rechtenwald's a junior too, John. A lot of skilled people. Robbins is a sophomore, and Robbins is a junior. A lot of skilled people be back for Manuel next year.
The guy they'll miss is Marcus Floyd. This he does so many things. 3 receivers on 2nd and 10, and Rechtenwald rolls to the left. Throws, has a man wide open at the 48. It is Cannon. He is pushed out of bounds at the 45. Short of the first down by a couple of yards, but it'll be 3rd and short, and there was nobody near Braxton Cannon. And we'll check with Todd Powers, but he's getting close to double digits in catches tonight.
Well, the Tigers had nobody up close to the line of scrimmage. The corner on that side, I believe Netherton was probably 8 yards off, and then the safety, I believe, was Carlin, was about 15. So you take advantage of that. If the Tigers are going to give that to you, you take it.
Gain of 9 on the play. They spotted at the 44. It's 3rd and 1. The lone back is Marcus Floyd. He will get the call running up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, push back, not going to get anything. They bring up 4th and 1, and you certainly expect the Crimsons to go for it. Andrew Ewells, that man, first contact, but he got a lot of help there. Schaffner, Shugart, and Patrick Owen all in on that stop. Wyatt Smock's in there now. Tigers with the 4 down linemen. Smock in there on short yardage on 3rd down and still will stay in on 4th down. So a full yard to get to the first down here for the Crimsons on 4th down with 7:15 to go in the 3rd. Rechtenwald under center. He will give it to Floyd. Running right. He is hit and dropped short of the first down. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but I don't think he even got there.
They're getting a pretty good spot here, John. I don't think they got it, but it's a pretty good spot.
It was Shepard who came flying in from his linebacker spot. Wow, how did he get that spot? That's a terrible spot. No, it's short. I don't know why they're giving him the first down. It's well short of the first down. He never – well, these referees. Jim, help me out down there. He did not make the line to make, which is a 43-yard line.
Yeah, normally on every 4th down play, you want to make sure that you measure, whether or not it's even within half a yard. And I think that's a mechanic failure at that point.
Yeah, that's awful. Empty backfield here on 1st down for Rechtenwald. He wants to throw. Pressure comes. Whistle comes before the play can get going.
And I don't care what they call. It should have been an illegal substitution on Manuel. They broke the huddle with 12 guys. Conlon ran off the field, but they're going to get the legal procedure call anyway and get the 5 yards. But I agree, John. I watched the replay on the screen, and he did reach the ball out. I give him credit, but he never did get to that mark. And I'm not saying that the mark was perfect, but there's no way that you can just look out there and say, well, that's a first down.
Well, when he reached the ball out, Tony, the ball came out. So if he's not down, it's a loose ball.
Yeah. Good point. But all for naught.
1st and 15. A penalty pushes the Crimsons back to the Tiger 48. Rechtenwald in a pistol this time. Man in motion from right to left is Floyd. Rolling that way, Rechtenwald wants Floyd. Hits Floyd at the 45, and he's dropped immediately. Got about 4 of the 5 back. Netherton, Lyons, Schaffner all chasing Marcus Floyd. They'll spot it at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of about 3. Bring up 2nd and 12.
Come on, Rob. Give the right guy credit on that one. That was Eric Lyons coming from his safety spot. What they did is he came up when Floyd did his out pattern, came up from his safety spot and really played it well. They gave the cushion, and then Netherton played the outside guy, and Lyons came up, made the tackle, then Netherton helped it. Eric Lyons made that play, I'm telling you.
Where it's a 5.5 mark to go here in the third quarter. The Crimsons have held the ball the whole quarter, and they're only at the Tiger 45. Quick throw to the left. It is caught by Cannon again, and what a great job by Netherton, who just pushed the blocker to the ground, came out of there with a football.
I'm watching a replay right now, John.
He just pushed the blocker down and made the hit. Lyons helped out on the tackle, but that was Jake Netherton with that play.
Well, they definitely blew the whistle there. That was way after the play, yeah.
But it's
great job by the Tiger defense.
Only a gain of 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. That is the 6th catch of the night for Braxton Cannon.
And I'm surprised the Crimsons haven't stepped back and faked that and thrown it down the field, because the Tigers are coming quick.
3 to the right, that's the wide side of the field. Expect a pass. Robbins is the lone setback. Rolling right, Rechtenwald being chased out of the pocket. Pull it down. Now he will throw it, and it's well out of the reach of his intended receiver. I think it was Chambers Sutton. No, it was Cannon again, but Eric Lyons again, terrific coverage. And after a drive that took 7.5 minutes nearly off the clock,
Tigers get to see what the football looks like.
the Crimsons will send the punt team out on 4th and 10. Will Ginter goes deep for St. X, stands back at his own 15-yard line.
John, I want to give Doug Schaffner credit on that one, too. He was chasing Rechtenwald, made him throw that ball.
Nick Kopp, he's had some great punts, and he's had a couple off the side of his foot here tonight. And this one is high and short, and not a good one. Goes out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, and they'll spot it at they'll spot it right at the 27-yard line. So only a 16-yard kick there from Nick Kopp. The Tigers take over 1st and 10. First possession of this half with 4:27 to go in the third. 21-0 St. X leads it.
And if you're Coach Scott Carmody for DuPont Manual, you got to like keeping the ball away from the Tigers, but to win this game, you got to score points. And it's 21-0 Tigers, 4:27 left here in the third quarter.
Keegan Sullivan, the junior, if you joined us late, started tonight. Jack Albers with a little finger issue. Handoff up the middle. Moretti breaks a tackle, has the first down. Crimson's trying to strip the ball out of there, but Moretti able to get across the 35 out to the 39-yard line, a gain of 12 on first down.
Well, just straight up the gut, and Moretti, I believe, had 6 carries for 66 in the first half, and that'll help that average.
Tigers with 3 receivers, and here's Anthony. They fake it to him. Quick throw to the left. Garrett catches this one at the 40. Across the 45, stiff arms a man to the 50, and hauled down in manual territory, and another first down. And that time the throw a little low, but Cameron Garrett able to go down and get it. You don't see him drop many, and I bet you Cameron's not happy with that drop he had in the first half.
I was thinking the same thing, John, and Keon Harris with a nice tackle, but the Tigers get the ball across midfield at the Crimson 49.
First down. And here is Moretti again up the middle. Big hole across the 45-40. Down to the 30. One man to beat to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Anthony Moretti from 49 yards out.
Well, Manuel had the ball for a long time, but that didn't matter because the Tigers don't care about time of possession right now. They care about that touchdown by Anthony Moretti, who just went over 100 yards for the game. I don't know what he's got total, but the Tigers go up 27-0. And did you notice that when the Tigers had the ball, they were going to go quick. They weren't going to wait and look at the play. They went quickly. Offensive line blew the hole. Moretti threw there twice. Touchdown, Tigers.
Yeah, give that line credit, Tony. He got some great blocking at the point of attack, and there was just a hole you could drive a Mack truck through. Matija puts the extra point through. 28-0 Tigers. 3:47 to go, third quarter. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. That was nice. Tony, Jim, and Todd. Jim Brinkman, we've seen some hard running for the Tigers that time. At that time, we've seen a lot of hard running tonight, but the O-line really opened a hole for Anthony Moretti that time.
Yeah, that's the game plan that you've seen with this St. X team all year, is that they start just wearing teams out. Now, Manuel actually held the ball for more than half of the quarter there, and we scored very quickly on 49-yard run. But, so we're not exactly wearing them out, but we are wearing out the light bulbs in the scoreboard.
Ah, very good. Well done. 1st and 10, Crimson to throw 20 after the touchback. And Robinson up the middle, tripped up. Connor Schaefer able to grab the legs, got some help from Skrodsky. Gain of a couple there for Robinson. And it looks like the winner of this game will take on PRP. They now lead Cooper.
Cooper, Connor,
37 to
same
nothing.
district.
So Pleasure Ridge Park, hopefully, will be right here at St. X next Friday night.
Tigers keep winning. They keep coming back here at Brother Thomas More Stadium.
2nd and 8 for the Crimsons. Rechtenwald's in the pistol. He's got 2 to the right and 1 to the left. Looks left, throws left. Has a man. It is caught by Blakey, and he is hit and dropped immediately. And that is Andrew Zagbagu again, who came up quickly, made the hit at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but no yards after the catch on that one.
An excellent job watching the replay here. He did. He came up, he hit him about shoulder high and wrapped him up and just took him to the ground. And Abagu's had a big game.
3rd and 3 for the Crimsons. Their own 27. Robinson the setback. Straight drop, quick throw over the middle. In and out of the hands of Marcus Floyd. It was behind him. Coverage by Netherton. Sam's actually backed out of his linebacker spot and was helping out in coverage, but not a good throw. It would have been a great catch if Floyd had hung on.
Yeah, it was a slant that went more than 10 yards, about 15, 20 yards down the field, and it just didn't quite get him the football. And Manuel, after keeping it the first possession forever, is going to kick it away.
Will Ginter is deep for the Tigers. Nick Kopp takes a snap, boots it out of there. Another low, short kick, bounces backwards, and it's going to be down at the 45-yard line by Brody Falver. And St. X will take over. Great field position at their own 45. 2:22 to go here for third quarter. 28-0 Tigers lead it.
That big drive Tigers had last possession. How many yards did, how many plays did they run there? 3, 4? Your kind of drive.
Yeah, it is my kind of drive.
Let's see if they can do it again.
Moretti had
2 runs.
A couple of runs. I think there was one other catch in there, so maybe 4. Now the shock troops are in with Coleman, Johnston, and Harkins. Quick throw to Coleman to the left. This one he's got, makes a man miss, and now he's hog-tied as Keon Ferris made the tackle at about the 46-yard line. It's only a gain of a yard, and a great open field tackle by Ferris.
Sure was. Did it to the short side, though, and that doesn't give Andre Coleman any advantage when they do that. And actually, I like seeing them go back to him, John.
Yeah, I do too.
After, having a couple drops earlier in the game.
You got to. This young man can play, and you got to give him some confidence, and that's exactly what that play was all about.
He's raw.
2nd down and 9. Allgaier up the middle, not much there. Tripped up as he crossed the 45, so no gain as Dominic taken down right at the 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
I wouldn't mind seeing them go back to that screen they set up earlier, which didn't work because it got knocked down. And we'll see, because Allgaier was coming out of the game when Ginter came back, but now Zoller goes out of the game. So Ginter and Allgaier both in the football game. And be aware of that little inside screen, because it was set up good the first time.
Under 2 to play here in the third quarter. 4 receivers, Ginter in the backfield. 4-man rush for Manuel. And that's exactly what they run. This time it's to Harkins, running left across the 50, 45, gets a block to the 40, and hauled out of bounds by Eli Blakey, but not until he gets down to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on 3rd and 9.
And what are they thinking? Harkins had 2 catches in the first game for 68 yards and a touchdown.
Throw him
you
the
got to
ball.
go there. But they set that up. They did it to a different guy, but I had a feeling they were going to try to run an inside screen right there. And a great block by Dominic Allgaier on that play. Boy, he took 2 guys out of the play, and then a great job by Harkins to get around him.
A whistle and a flag and an offside going to be called against Manuel here.
It's
on
not the first one.
down. Second time we've seen that tonight. Interesting from up at Ryle, Butler has tied Ryle 14-all late third quarter. We'll keep you updated.
Well, you know, everybody that leaves this district has an opportunity to win games, and right now, I guarantee you Ryle's on the edge of their seat.
So 1st and 5. See if the Tigers take a shot here. 4 receivers in the game.
They're coming.
Allgaier in the backfield. They'll give it to Dominic. Looked like Keegan wanted to pull it out of there. Dominic across the 30 to the 25. That's going to be plenty for the first down. They'll spot it, I think, back at the 26-yard line. But in any event, we'll give Dominic Allgaier 6 yards on 1st and 5 and a first down for the Tigers.
We'll give Canaday and Ferris a lot of credit on that one. They got together and just kind of did a bulldozer to get them through there.
Harkins and Ginter to the left. Johnston, and Coleman to the right on 1st and 10. Dominic Allgaier in the backfield. Quick throw to the left to Ginter, and he cannot make a man miss. Good open field tackle that time from Elijah Payne. Going to be a loss on the play, 2nd and long.
Picked the wrong guy right there. If they'd have done it to the other side, to Johnston, nobody was within 12 yards of him on the wide side of the field, and that same play I think would have been a big play on the other side. And if Manuel lands up like they did, and it looks like they're going to, I'd step out and just throw it to the right this time. But Varga comes in the game, John, and a lot of times Varga comes in there. He's also a good receiver.
He's got 1 catch here tonight for a big gainer. Sullivan in the shotgun, and everybody moves, and Clayton Six hangs on to the football.
I like Canaday's expression. His hands are still up like, huh? What happened?
And let me tell you something. I love Clayton Six, but that's just embarrassing.
But you know,
for him.
He's a guy that has not gotten any credit all year long.
Oh, he's great.
He's played excellent at that center spot. He's done his job. He's a good blocker. He's a big, strong kid. I know Will Wolford talked about him early in the year. He thinks he's a Division I player, and somebody needs to take a chance on Clayton Six.
But anybody that does that, any center that does that, just wants to crawl under the turf. 2nd down.
Play action here.
At the 34-yard line, 2nd and long. It is play action. Keegan in trouble, steps up into the pocket, and he's going to release it late to Varga on the left sideline. That'll be positive yardage.
Still running.
Varga takes a couple of tacklers down to about the 20-yard line. So a gain of about 14 on the play. Third quarter comes to an end. 28-0 Tigers. We'll be back with 12 minutes of football to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. That's a heck of $28-0. St. X leads it over Manual. First round of the 6A playoffs. Tigers threatening again after the 14-yard catch and run from Jack Varga.
And John, you know what? Oh, that's well.
Tigers will set up 3rd and 4. 1st and 10, 3rd and 4. That's the same thing, right? At the 20-yard line. Actually got to get just inside the 16, so it's a long 4. Man in motion. They give it to Allgaier up the middle. First down as he runs over a couple of tacklers right at the first down marker. And Dominic Allgaier all the way down to the 12. So an 8-yard gain. Tigers now in the green zone again. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green.
Moving quickly.
Ball on the left hash mark. 2 receivers to the right on 1st and 10. Ginter in motion from left to right. They give it to Allgaier again up the middle inside the 10. Dragging tacklers. Wow. Inside the 5, all the way down near the goal line. They're going to spot it at about the 1-yard line, and he got some help there. Chase Ferris and Clayton Six and Wyatt Smock and Curley
Varga
just kind of pushing the pile. 1st and goal, Tigers at the 1.
Sullivan in the pistol again. It's Dominic up the middle. Dives and going to be short, I think, of the goal line.
Nacho takes a little
down. Nacho not happy.
Not happy with Chase Ferris giving a little help to the runner,
and a little
Ferris
kick
goes,
there,
he gave me a little
and,
kick,
and he did. And nobody saw it except for me and Chase Ferris. But it's 2nd and goal. Ball inside the 1 yard line now. Allgaier will stay in there.
I'm gonna watch Chase Ferris on this play.
And
he pointed at him. He just pointed at him.
Actually, Allgaier is the up back. Under center is Sullivan and Trenton Zoller, the deep guy. They give it to Allgaier. And he is in for the St. X touchdown from, we'll call it a yard out. 2nd of the night for Dominic. 1 through the air, this one on the ground.
Boy, Canaday and Ferris just flat cleaned this side out over here, and he goes in from the right side. So Tigers take a commanding lead with 10:54 left, 34-0 Tigers.
And Tony, that is 2 possessions in this half, 2 touchdowns.
Okay, they came out of the second half with the offense came out with a little purpose.
Yeah. So the Tigers are going to go for 2 here, Tony, to try to get the running clock, I think.
Wow.
And they pitch it to Allgaier, and he throws it, and it is caught by Zach Johnston for the 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, it is 36-0 in favor of the Tigers. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Bissing on behalf of
St. X 36-0. St. X with the lead after the 2-point conversion. Interesting call. We'll go down to Jim and see what he thought of that call after the kickoff. Nally approaches, kicks it. It is high. It is deep, but it is not in the end zone. Taken at the 1 and a reverse. And a lot of room. The Tigers don't know where the ball is. Russell Thomas gets out as Floyd kind of pitched it to him on the reverse. So both coaches pulling some things out. Nally actually made the tackle. Jim Brinkman, give me your thoughts on the 2-point conversion.
Let me ask you this. If we were part of a school that was over on Shelbyville Road, would you even question that play call?
I question that one no matter who's doing it, because there's one of 2 things happening here. Either you're trying to get to the running clock, which I completely understand.
It's part of the game.
Or you're getting Dominic Allgaier to kind of give a little nudge to his former team. He now has a touchdown rushing, a touchdown receiving, and a 2-point conversion passing. 1st and 10 at the 40 for the Crimsons. They give it to Robinson up the middle. Boy, he is drilled, bounced off of it, and fought his way for 3 yards. He ran right into, I think it was Connor Schaefer, and just was stopped and then bounced off of it. 2nd down and 7 for the Crimsons. Clock will just be very, very, very fast now.
And, John, in the playoffs, I understand why sometimes you do that, but you want to get out of here and not play as much because you want to stay healthy, but I think Manuel will take exception to that.
3 receivers on 2nd and 7. Reckton-Wall's got Robinson in the backfield. Wants to throw it. Straight drop, throws high and deep down the right side and overshot his intended receiver, Marcus Floyd.
What number we got for the Tigers? I lost it.
It's really good coverage. Actually, it was Nathan Pike, and he was actually giving ground and was the closest man to the football when it landed. So Pike is in there at one of the corners.
Try to get some of these numbers. Alex Feller in at linebacker.
Preston Bicker is at cornerback as well over here on this side. It's 3rd and 7 for the Crimsons.
Hartnett in there at linebacker with.
And they send all 3 receivers to the short side of the field over on the right, and Robinson the lone setback. Now Robinson goes in motion, so 4 to the right. Well, this is a double pass. They throw it to Robinson. He wants to throw it back. It is a backward pass. Well, it's a forward pass, I guess, caught by Rechtenwald, but he'll get across the 45. That's a lot of play there for about a 4-yard gain.
And they actually, John, I'm watching the replay. They set it up very well, but the problem is Robinson's trying to throw up in the air. Yeah. And actually, I think that's Hartnett was still in on the play and kind of disrupted it. And he had a wall, but he couldn't get to it.
Tackle was actually made by Michael Houlihan. The Crimsons will go for it here. They got a 4th down and about 4. They got to get to midfield to get a first down. Rechtenwald wants to throw it quickly to the left. Blakey's got it. The flag is down. That's going to be an illegal formation. It's an incomplete pass on Blakey. Actually, he could not come up with the football. So that should turn it over on downs to the Tigers with 7:46 to play. It's an ineligible man downfield. So one of the guys lined up was not eligible, and he went downfield. So the Tigers will take over on downs. And I certainly expect to see maybe John Kleinkraut now for the Tigers, the senior quarterback.
We'll have a running clock to finish this out. I know you said that, but for anybody that wasn't paying attention, 36-0 Tigers, 7:46 left here in the first half.
Miles Harris is in at running back. Three new
Kleinkraut in there.
In the game. Yeah. The senior quarterback, good to see him get some time. He gives it to Miles Harris up in the middle. Not much there. Maybe a yard to the 45. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, Miles Harris comes in the game with 15 carries for 123 yards. So in his time, a junior running back has done a pretty good job. And he's a guy they're gonna look to next year too, John. A guy they're going to have to carry the ball. And I think he has a lot of potential.
Tony, did you see the any scores from the Hive tonight?
50-0 Central over Pike County Central, I believe it was.
Yeah, I thought I heard some buzzing, so I assume the Jackets won. Kleinkraut keeps it this time, not going to get much. In fact, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage before he is hauled down. They ran the jet sweep, faked it to Grayson Galloway, the wide receiver. John kept it. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Killed his average. 8 carries going in with 57 yards, averaging over 7 yards a carry. That's going to hurt you right there.
Killed his average.
And, John, PRP leading big against Cooper. So it's going to be St. X and PRP here next week at St. X High School on Brother Thomas More Stadium.
Kleinkraut's in the shotgun on 3rd and 9, and he wants to throw. Play action, rolling right, looking for the H-back. It's not there. Instead, he throws deep, and it is incomplete. Intended for Lewis Woles, the wide receiver. Good coverage there. Woles had to come back a little bit, dove for it, had a shot, but just couldn't haul it in. And the Tigers will punt it away.
Yeah, and actually it was well underthrown, but actually in the right place if you're going to throw it. And Woles came back and slid and almost made the play.
Absolutely in the right place because your guy's the only guy that had a chance to.
Tigers only got one guy on the kicking team. It's going to be tough to tackle them.
Closest game of the night, Butler and Ryle, 14-all.
Wow.
With 8:56 to go up at Ryle High School in northern Kentucky. So that district on the verge of having a chance to go over. High snap. Good job to bring it down, and getting it away was Matija. Fair catch by Floyd, and he'll take it at about the 17. Great job.
2 Crimsons down.
Great job by Alan Matija to get that one off. We'll take a quick timeout. 5:21 to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing Impact Sports Radio Network. the run, and Cameron Wilson, linebacker with the Tiger for St. X. And now here goes Marcus Floyd down the left sidelines, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds. Last man standing was Jackson Bunting, the defensive back, able to push Floyd out of bounds down inside the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at the 27. And a 1st and 10 for Manual. 3:48 to go. Clock continues to run. It's 36-0 in favor of the St. X Tigers. How many will this be in a row against the Crimson? We
31. I saw it earlier.
Wow.
We talked about it, unfortunately, for the Crimson fans.
That is a heck of a streak.
And Hayden Roadhouse was one of them that ran him out of bounds, I think, right before that.
Robinson now gives Floyd a break. He'll take a play off. Quick throw to the right. It is caught by Russell Thomas. Inside the 20. Knocked off of his feet as he gets the first down. He gets down to about the 16-yard line. Gain of 11. Or maybe the 11-yard line, gain of 16.
Tigers running guys in and out on defense. Everybody trying to get everybody on the field. They might even put an offensive guy in on defense right now just to get him on the field.
3 minutes left here.
Manual trying to get their first score of the night. Tigers lead 36-0 with a running clock here in the 4th.
Ball at the 11. Robinson's the lone setback. Actually, Collins is in Conlon in an H-back. They give it to Robinson, runs over a tackler at the 3, and he is in for the touchdown. De'Aaron Robinson gets the Crimsons on the board. With an 11-yard touchdown run. 2:35 to play.
Like I said, Tigers were running guys in and out, a lot of different numbers we haven't seen, and unfortunately I won't give the number of the Tiger, but one of them got run over at about the 3-yard line.
And Nick Kopp will come in for the extra point.
Go for 2 here?
No.
I'm just joking.
Clayton Aubrey is the holder. Actually, this is not Nick Kopp, so Manuel going deep onto their bench. Extra point.
Don't have a 91 on ours.
Whoever it was made it. It is 36-7. Tigers. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissing. Here's Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. And Nick Kopp will kick it away from Manual. 36-7. St. X with a lead, 2:12 to play. And a running clock. And Kopp kicks it down and is taken in the end zone.
Austin Mayer.
And Austin wanted to run that one out, Tony. It's easier to tell now with the yellow goal end zone if you caught it in or out of the end zone or not, and he did.
And John, while we were off the air, we came up with a couple scores for the people listening. Butler has taken the lead on Ryle at Ryle 20-14, and the Panthers from PRP are rolling, and they will be here next Friday night.
They lead Cooper 37-12 late in that game. So the Tigers and John Kleincrop will stay in. At quarterback, Austin Mayer will be the running back here on 1st and 10. Jake Schoen is the H-back. And they'll give it to Austin Mayer. Off tackle, he's got 5. He's got 7 before he's hauled down by Russell Thomas, a couple other Crimsons. Give him 8 yards. Second down and 2, under a minute to go here.
Famous line my brother just sent me. Polly Walsh, call your answering service.
Tigers with Hunter Mock in at H-back now. Here's Mayer again, across the 30, first down to the 32. Give him 4 more, and that may be the final play of this one.
Hart, Hummel, Knable, Chambers. I always got to get those linemen in there. I'm missing one.
That'll do it.
Cade Parham.
That'll do it. 36-7. Tigers win, advance to round 2. We'll take a quick break. Come back and hear from the coach. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans. Want to learn more about how your eyes work? It's time you visit the eye.
Well, I'm following Butler football right now, and Ryle went for it on 4th and 5 at their own 23 and got the first down. So I'm going to try to keep you up to date a little bit on the Butler.
Still 20-14, so
20-14.
Apparently a missed extra point by the Bears. They trailed that game 14-0. So Butler scored the last 20 in that one and has taken the lead. We haven't seen a male score against Collins, but we're going to assume that the Bulldogs are going to win that one. And, of course, PRP leading big over Cooper. So the Ridge will, in all likelihood, be right here at St. X next week in round 2. Keegan Sullivan, 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Dominic Algar with a touchdown catch in the first half, a touchdown run in the second half, and a 2-point conversion pass to Zach Johnston in the second half as well. So a big night for Dominic against guys that he played with a couple of years ago, Tony.
Yeah, and since they've switched Dominic Algar to running back on the injury to Brett Metzmeyer, he's really a guy that they thought would play running back, but they moved him to the slot, and now he has taken part of the load with Anthony Moretti, and both guys have done a great job. As Coach Todd Walsh stops by after we paged Paulie Walsh's answering machine.
Yes, we did. I guess he heard it because he came back to tell us Paulie, of course, not here. So the alma mater has been played, and Will Wolford has gathered his team and talked to them, and he's now down there with Jim Brinkman. Go ahead, Jimmy.
To the gym.
As Will Wolford yells for his guys to go to the
Something
gym.
about Jim, man, talking to Jim.
Is he yelling at you, Jim?
No, he's not yelling at me. He seems to be pretty happy after a 36-7 game.
Yes, that's about as tough a first-round opponent you're ever going to get. They have a couple kids who can flat-out play. Very proud of the defense. I mean, to shut them out like they did when the Stars were out there, and certainly right there at the end of the first half was awesome. And they had a couple backups playing, and a couple backups on offense got it done as well. So we're missing a few guys, but hopefully we can get them back in the next week or two.
Talk about how tough your district is. Butler has now taken the lead over Ryle, and PRP is leading 37 to 12.
Well, last year all 5 teams went and won in the first round. that is amazing. It is tough. That's why a game like this, I'm very happy to get over with, and hopefully we stayed healthy. You know, we thought we were kind of healthy last week, and that wasn't the case. And, contrary to popular belief, we don't really have unlimited depth, and a lot of kids got to play tonight, so it ended up working out really well.
Coach, I got to talk a little bit about Dominic Allgaier. You know, he ran for one, he caught one, and he threw one. Did a special play he put in for Manual?
No, I mean we work on those and hardly ever call them. So that one's out of the playbook. Dom started his career at Manual. Went there freshman, sophomore year. Sat out all of last year as he transferred in, and now he's getting a chance to show what he can do. And he's a great kid. He works very hard, and it's nice to see him get a nice reward.
Coach, one final question. What's your chances for bringing home state?
I'm worried about Monday and probably PRP. I'm not worried about anything else down the line.
All right. I'll kick it back here to John and Tony.
I like it, Jim. He took off running on that question. He did not want to hear that word at all. But very happy coach tonight, 36-7. Tigers win it. Had a running clock fairly early in that fourth quarter. We'll take a break, come back with the Eye Care Institute postgame report. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
You've been listening to the St. X Tigers.
Give me that wing, Tony.
County High School football on the